Episode 20.
We're here.
We're here.
With no alcohol. I was going to bring some to celebrate, but it's a little early in the day.
It is. And let's be real, we don't need alcohol to be weird.
No, not at all.
We're just weird. Welcome to On the Hot, everyone.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Whitney.
And we never know how to just start this thing without being awkward and stupid.
And we're awkward. Haunted housekeeping. Let's just jump into it.
Let's just do.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about my stuff?
Yes.
Or are we talking about the movie? See, we don't even know. You guys, we have no...
We're so unprepared. We're just so
very
unprofessional. We're really not unprepared. We're just unprofessional.
Yes.
That's fine. Well, let's just talk about a movie.
Okay. We just
movie.
came from a movie, a 9:50 a.m. movie.
Which is so typical us. We want to go see a movie very early so that hopefully, fingers crossed, we can be the only people in the theater. Which
Didn't happen today. But we were one of only, 6 or 8 people in there, so good enough.
I feel like we kind of got shushed because Amy and I like to huddle down when we see a horror film and sort of quietly whisper and make fun of things the whole entire time. It's probably annoying.
I'm sure it's annoying.
But we're quiet.
But that's how we cope when we're scared. We make jokes. That's what we do.
We did. We saw The Grudge. There's no Sarah Michelle Gellar, which is, for Buffy fans like us, sad. But that's okay.
Very sad, but it was an all right movie.
It was fine.
Yeah. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We had some good jump scares.
Yes. It was entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
Whoever did set design, though.
Yeah.
Some work to do.
They missed the mark on that one. It was set in 2005-ish, but it was just a bunch of really big, boxy, old Oldsmobile cars. So many of them.
1970s. Yeah. Everything was from the 70s in that movie, but it was set in 2005. Except for the flip phones.
Yeah. The flip phones were spot on.
Yeah, that was legit. And the gigantic laptop.
Yes. And the huge TV that's built into a shelf thing.
Yeah, furniture.
With knobs.
Yeah.
That was not 2005.
No.
So.
No, 2000. Did we have flat screens in 2005?
I think they were maybe you had
really
to be pretty
expensive.
wealthy to be able to get a flat screen. So the tube TVs weren't that off the mark, but the lady with the one that's the TV's
furniture.
It's got a wooden
furniture.
surround.
You could shut it.
Yeah.
You could fold down this bread box.
It looks like a bar, but it's a TV. So
my granny and grandpa.
So that happened, but all in all,
it was entertaining.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
We went and ordered a combo. You ever notice when you go to the movies, there are no combos with 2 sodas and 2 popcorns?
Because they know.
Yeah. So I ordered the combo with 2 large sodas and a large popcorn, but I've still got this runny nose, so I asked for an extra bag to dump half that popcorn in.
Because I don't want to eat Amy's snot.
Yeah, so I wasn't transferring my germs to the popcorn Whitney's eating, and they refused to give me a bag. So if you check out our social media, you'll see a very unflattering photo of us with me and a giant.
Hey, I'm not young. I don't know how to do Insta
tray that they gave me to pour my popcorn in.
It was that or a baby's popcorn box. So whatever.
It was very weird.
It was great.
That was our experience.
I give that movie 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah,
ish. It was fun.
Yeah, and just so you know, if you do go see
Not
it
that
at the very
cares
end,
my review.
when the credits start rolling, the movie's over.
You can
Even
leave.
though they just keep panning on a picture of the house, nothing happens.
Yeah.
So rest
We're just
assured. We're waiting, and nothing happened. Anyways.
All right, moving
on. Again, we'll see how this goes. We're doing 2 episodes a day because it is winter in Missouri and you never know what's going to happen with the weather. And we want to just have something. I almost said spank bank. That's what that's called. No. Bank. We want to have something in the bank. Amy. In case. We can't make it to a regular.
You just said spank bank.
I know. That literally was came out of my mouth. I'm like, no, wait, that's not what that is.
Yeah, no, not even close.
No. I mean,
I hope
maybe,
this is the spank bank.
We got lots of new likes lately. It's
super sad. Go on the internet.
Yeah, we are. If this is what you would put in your spank bank, you need to branch out.
You need to go to a hospital. Something's wrong.
You need to follow us on social media because our picture today was so awful.
Amy and I were looking at our cover photo on our Facebook page and how people are really is that even the same?
Yeah.
God, anyway. We don't know. Okay, we're tired.
Yeah, we do the best we can. But
So
we're
funny.
also not going to get some sort of app that makes us look beautiful. That's
ridiculous.
We're real. We are so real, it's stupid.
It's real, it's embarrassing. Great.
Okay.
Spank bank. Clearly the title of the episode.
Yes, for sure.
I'm moving on. You're the best.
Oh God!
Moving on. Let's just do this.
All
do
right.
your story.
My topic
story. I hope you say more things like spank bang. Okay.
My topic today is mermaids.
Oh my God!
You're welcome.
Love mermaids.
I know you do.
Okay, I'm so excited, and I know where this is going.
I hope this doesn't disappoint.
They're not. It's not Ariel. I know that.
No, it's not Ariel.
I do love Ariel.
We know you do, girl.
Okay.
I know you do.
Okay.
Since the day I met you 15 years ago.
How is that? Hi, my name is Whitney. I love mermaids.
Yes, this is one of the first things I learned about you.
All right, cool. I'm excited.
So, all that's interesting.
Awesome.
Listverse and Wikipedia are my sources today. I kind of jump around on this because for some reason in my head there was a lot more stuff out there about mermaids but I don't know, than I found. So here we go.
Awesome.
First of all, though, I put this in here for Whitney specifically because I know how much she loves Ariel.
I know. I need to get real.
Disney's version of Little Mermaid, nothing like Hans Christian Andersen's book. That is where the Little Mermaid actually originated.
Her tongue gets cut out, right?
Yes. Well, she wants to live a life with the humans. And so she makes a deal with some wicked
Ursula type of person,
witch or whatever. Yes, Ursula, if you will. Where she grows human legs, but it's incredibly painful. And she also, in exchange for that, though, she has to lose her voice. But unlike in the Little Mermaid that you love, they cut her tongue is cut out.
Yeah,
that's how she loses her voice.
You just get a cool shell to wear.
And then the guy that she falls for just isn't that into her. Because you don't have a tongue.
What? That's not hot?
I
also I love The Little Mermaid. Growing up in the 90s, as a kid, it came out right then. I was obsessed with it. I literally watched it every single day. Now as an adult though and a parent, I really have issues with that movie. And I don't really want Rory will watch it occasionally. It's not one of her favorites. Frozen, everybody, which I feel has a better
message where the female
is empowered and is the leader and
not giving up
everything,
the biggest part of her life
and her family. I just really have, for someone she doesn't even know, I just have really a lot of issues with
and in the Hans Christian Andersen one, I think the only way to break the spell, she had to stab the guy she was in love with. And maybe even drink his blood or something. I don't know. But she refused to, so she dies. She melts it. Mermaid deaths in that book, they melted into sea foam.
I was going to say.
So
anyway,
just to put out there, that's what Hans Christian Andersen's take was on it.
Wrong
and
with
I don't
him?
know how Walt Disney did what they did.
Make it a little nicer.
I don't know what that farting noise was with my mouth. Sorry.
Spank bank.
Yes.
Sorry.
There are people that are into it. Oh my God, I've been reading Demi Moore's memoir, and she talks about how she used to torture her brother when she was little by holding him down and farting in her hand and then putting it over his face.
That is cruel.
Oh my God, Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
All right, so
thank you for that.
We are all over the place right now.
Tidbit.
You're welcome. That's what female heroines should be doing.
Okay.
All right. A little bit of history about mermaids.
Okay.
They often are associated with floods, storms, shipwrecks, and drowning. So you know how just so many times in different cultures throughout history, when something bad happens, it's not just because something bad happened. You've got to blame it on something.
Yes. Oh, so they're blamed for causing floods.
Yes.
And okay. And I was maybe they come with floods. Yes.
And you got to think, back in the day, shipwrecks were probably very common. But you got to blame it on something because otherwise no one's ever going to go out on a boat again.
Right. Just look out for mermaids.
So they blame mermaids for that. A merman is the equivalent, but there are fewer sightings of them.
Because they're not as cute, obviously.
Yeah, but it's believed that they do coexist with the females, and they're all known as merfolk.
I love that. How do you get into sorry? Do you get into how they procreate?
No, I do not.
Because what does that look like?
There's no science involved in my story today, so I don't know.
How could you get into how they...
However, fish fish, they just fertilize an egg,
It's
right?
so confusing.
I don't know.
Because you have a person body up top.
I don't even know if they like are into each other. It seems like they're always after humans. I don't know.
Okay. Sad.
So, beginning stories of mermaids in the West may have been influenced by the sirens of Greek mythology. Depictions of creatures with the upper bodies of humans and tails of fish appeared in Mesopotamian artwork.
Huh.
So think way back when there have been something, that had to do with
that's not a dolphin.
A part human, part fish.
Right.
So don't know, obviously, what sparked that. The first known stories took place in Assyria about 1000 BC.
Wow.
With the goddess Achagartis falling in love with a mortal and accidentally killing him. So she was so ashamed of what she had done. She jumped in the water thinking she'd be transformed into a fish. Like that was her punishment for herself. And said she became half human and half fish. Yeah.
Was it cute at least?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Because, like, Ariel's cute because her fin's, like, pretty.
Yeah.
But imagine a real fish.
Yeah, that's
kind of gross.
It is kind of gross. Like, if you think of what a fish feels like when you... Ugh.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, all the pictures and stuff I found were, like, artistic artworks. Yeah, right. So it was like, they were all, very beautiful.
Right.
But this is just...
And, like, well,
that belongs in the Spank Bank, not the show.
Imagine, like, the part where your human part meets your fish part. Like, what does that transition look like on your body? You know what I mean?
Well, and a lot of things I read of, like, actual eyewitness accounts say it is, like, pretty much human from about above the navel and... Navel, not navel. What is a navel? I'm making up words.
You were about to say nipple.
Maybe. No, the nipples are normal nipples. But it's from like above the navel. Everything's human, but below the navel. So I don't know.
Ariel
if there
has
is
a navel. And Ariel has a navel.
Yeah.
It's confused. It's confused. She's not real.
No, she's a Disney princess.
She is a cartoon. Oh, God.
Greek legends told of Alexander the Great's sister becoming a mermaid after her death. There's just like a whole bunch of other old legends, but I couldn't pronounce any other names, so I just skipped
we're not talking about that. But wouldn't that be great? You die, and Jesus is like, "What do you want now?" And you're like, "A mermaid, like a pretty one."
Yeah, but no one got their wish.
No, God.
Norman Chapel in Durham Castle was built in 1078. Is that how you would say that?
That's weird.
1078. It has the earliest surviving artistic depiction of a mermaid in all of England.
Interesting.
In British folklore, mermaids are an unlucky omen.
Oh.
So, like, if you see a mermaid, that means some sort of a disaster is coming.
Yikes.
And there are just stories all over the entire world about... Some are folklore, but then there are also a lot of first-hand accounts of people seeing things that they believed were mermaids. So here we go. My timeline, I think, is all over the place. That's nothing new. But
what?
Here we go.
That is new.
Here we go.
Oh my God, I just saw your other topic.
Oh, crap.
But I'm so excited. It's fine.
This is why we don't do two at once. You're such a nosy guy.
Hey, it's just right in front of my face.
I need to get one of those cardboard. That'd make for a great podcast. Let's put a cardboard partition
like
around
when
me.
you're in kindergarten taking a...
Yes.
Hey, I'm sorry. You just flipped around right in front of me.
I was looking to see how long this was because I'm like, I don't think this
really
is very
sorry.
long. I don't. Who cares?
I shouldn't have told you that I saw it. It's
yeah,
exciting,
you need
though.
to learn to keep a secret, girl.
Oh, to you, about you.
Yes, please. Protect. I would rather be in the dark. Okay?
About you knowing I'll tell you my topics later.
It's fine. Okay. So, in 1493, good old Christy Columbus.
God, I hate him.
He's got his hands in all the cookies.
He really does.
I feel like what other things did we hear him talk? There was something with... was he in the Bermuda Triangle? I don't know. Everything. I know we've talked about him
multiple
before,
times.
Though.
Yeah, I feel like one of
UFOs. He saw.
Did he see
UFOs? Maybe.
I'm looking through my notebook as if it's gonna pop out.
We've talked about him. That's all that matters.
He says, here I have all of our top. Anyway, I don't know.
No, who cares? He was not a good person. I don't care. So he saw 3 mermaids while he was sailing off the coast of Spain.
Huh.
But he said that they weren't beautiful, like in the stories he'd heard, and have very masculine features in their faces.
Rude.
So when I read that he wrote that, like in his little log or something, I looked up a picture of Christopher Columbus. Listen.
What a beauty.
He looks like, what's the guy that's not...
Donald Trump.
No. Oh. But the guy that's not Will Ferrell in Step Brothers, like John C. Reilly. But uglier and even worse hair.
Oh, wow.
Like his hair,
What's the guy who's not Will Ferrell?
Christopher Columbus had pubic hairs growing all over his head, if we're being honest. So how dare he talk about how these mermaids were unattractive?
1493,
Yeah,
women's
he was
rights.
gross. He was just so gross.
I mean, I will give Christopher I shouldn't probably say anything because I don't know anything about him. But, like, I give him props for being brave to like...
But didn't they, recently discover some of his logs and stuff where he talked about he murdered and raped people?
Okay.
Unless maybe I'm just reading something that
I'm sure
doesn't
he did.
exist.
Trevor?
I don't know.
Doesn't listen.
No,
Every
he does
episode
not.
I say that.
I should Snopes that before I just start saying things.
Was Christopher Columbus a rapist?
I mean,
Yes.
he's from the 1400s.
So, of course, he was
He's not going
raping-
to sue me for defamation.
His ancestors?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't even know. I know no one with the name Columbus.
Me
Columbus
neither.
is all Columbus, Ohio going to sue me. Bring it.
They're all
please
his-
don't bring it. But anyways, when he saw them and then talked about how ugly they were, he was like, "What? It's not even a big deal. I've seen mermaids before." I'm like, okay, get over
He's
yourself.
a dick. So rude.
I mean, we're assuming he was. You don't talk about women's looks.
No.
No matter what.
No.
But then a lot of things said that they think he's an idiot and just saw manatees. It's like, no.
Well, that's the thing. Yes, that
Yeah.
you hear a lot is that they're confused.
There
for
are no
manatees.
human features on a manatee.
No.
Zero.
No.
Zilch.
Manatees are very cute.
And manatees don't really even have a fishtail.
Sort of.
But not...
No.
I would not confuse their tails with the tail of a fish.
I'm going to look up at manatees.
They're more
right
like porpoise, or is a manatee a porpoise? No, I don't know.
they're
I know
not.
nothing. But their features are very porpoise-like. Right?
I'm
Even though I
sorry.
don't know
The
what
first
porpoises
picture
are.
that comes up when I Google manatee definitely looks like me in a swimsuit. Like this gigantically fat. Look at this.
Yeah.
now. There's me in a swimsuit.
Yeah. But that's not a fishtail. That's like a
It looks like the tail of a
otter.
beaver.
A beaver. Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't know anything about anything. Okay, moving on.
Oh, God. Okay.
Henry Hudson, then, was the first European to sail up a river and explore the bay. That's why Hudson River is called what it is. Didn't know that.
Me neither.
So,
look at us learning history.
We're so smart.
We're historians.
Last time we said we were so smart, we were completely incorrect.
That's
But that's
usually
all right.
the case.
Yes.
It's fine.
So the Hudson River may not actually be named after him. He's European.
Ryan
I
Hudson,
don't
that's a
know.
person I know.
Okay,
From
Kate
Randy
Hudson?
Jewelry here in Troy and Oval.
Okay, you probably
Lincoln
should be
County.
saying the names of real people we know.
Why?
I'm going with Kate Hudson.
Why? He's really nice. Go to Randy's Jewelry for your jewelry needs.
Okay, will do. I need to get my ring
He's
sized back
great.
down.
Also, Lincoln County it's Lincoln County Jewelers. Also, why am I talking about this? But
Yeah.
maybe he knows something about that.
Fun fact, after I
So-
had my twins, I conceded to the fact I was never losing the weight and had my
was
wedding ring sized up, and now I have to wear like
She's
this
worn this for
plastic
14 years.
Yes.
She's worn this plastic thing. Go get
Because
your...
it's so expensive to get a ring size. It's very expensive.
can't take it
it's
with
like
you,
hundreds
Amy.
of dollars.
Yeah, but does that hurt?
No, not at all.
And you've worn it for so long, you probably
Yeah.
don't even notice.
No, I don't. Okay. But God forbid I don't wear my rings. And it's like, why are you not wearing you? Yes, I'm having an affair with Whitney. So if I take my ring off, it fools her.
Yeah, I forget about you, Christopher James Columbus.
So in 1608,
We're so embarrassing.
Henry Hudson wrote in his logbook.
Sorry,
so these are
Ryan.
like things that actually documented in their logbooks. It's not like someone.
That's just like your journal.
I know.
What is the proof of
but
that?
I'm just saying, so it is like documented that these
Yes.
explorers said they saw these
Yes,
things.
yes.
He said.
I believe them. Henry
He and
Hudson.
several of his crew members saw mermaids swimming close to the ship, and they were just like staring up at them. They're like just swimming around the ship and like looking up at the crew.
And be careful around
Yes. And this was the first thing where someone documented that from the navel up, they were human.
Oh, okay.
So they just thought they were a bunch of like naked women swimming. But then when they dove,
they saw their
tail flipped up above the water,
like,
so they could see that. And they're like, "What are we
were
seeing?"
they beautiful?
They did not say.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad they didn't comment on that.
Yeah. So it's better to just keep your mouth shut
About the looks
than
of a
to
mermaid.
sound like Christopher Columbus and be forever remembered. That's what you're remembered for, Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
Not
Exactly.
sailing the ocean blue in 1492 or whatever.
Yeah, allegedly discovering America.
Yes, it's for commenting on women's looks.
Do you know you have, hey, Christopher, do you know you have your own day here in the United States?
Yeah, I think they still get like the day off of school in Illinois for that.
Really?
Like, whatever.
But we also have Indigenous Peoples Day now. I'm not sure when that is, but...
Oh, that should replace
It should.
Columbus Day.
It
Okay,
should.
sorry.
Moving on.
Yeah,
We're all over the
Why
place.
do we get ourselves in these?
I don't
Stop
know.
it. This is not a political podcast. So, Captain John Smith
Oh,
is best known for
that John Smith?
Yeah, Jamestown.
Yeah.
John Smith.
Pocahontas.
He's best known, yes, for his exploration and Pocahontas. But in 1611, while he was sailing off an island in the West Indies, he saw a woman swimming gracefully. And despite her long green hair...
Wow, okay, that's not what
I'm thinking 1611, people didn't dye their hair. This was not some
easily.
emo teenage girl
And why would she have green
waving her hot cash from Hot Topic. She was... No, not in 1611. So I don't want to hear green hair. I'm like, well, I guess think about though, if you have blonde hair and you swim a lot
in the chlorine?
Oh, is that what causes that? Never mind.
Not the ocean.
Well, I would think salt water and stuff. Though you spend enough time in there, it's going to do something.
Yeah.
Or just the moss. It wasn't her hair. It was just
very
moss.
dirty. It's just moss hanging from her.
Despite her green hair, he said she was pretty hot.
Okay.
So...
Except for her green hair.
And the fact that below her waist, he noted she was a fish.
I mean, that's...
But other than that, I mean, she was...
I'm sorry, John Smith.
Like a solid 8, in his opinion.
You're so uncomfortable. I really like to mate with this fish.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's... How, but that's... I don't know how to do this.
Oh, God. John Smith. I just, again, going back to imagine being an explorer, though, you're just hopping in a boat and you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
It is.
I can't drive anywhere without...
That's me every time I get in my car, though, let's be honest.
When I get into I'm the skipper of Amy's
Google
Jeep
Maps
Cherokee
just gets
pilot.
me everywhere in life.
It's a little frightening, and I feel like I'm taking my life in my
the oceans are so big.
Real big.
Yeah.
And just desolate, and you're all alone. Can you imagine just looking around and being like, I see no land, and I'm on this boat,
I
and
might
it's
be here for 6 days. I might be here for 6 years.
Yeah,
I don't know how far away it is to the next piece of land.
I don't know how much food I have. I might have to eat my crew.
Yeah.
Or don't.
No, don't.
Don't be the Donner Party.
No. You're in an ocean. There's food.
Fish. Yes. Get a pole.
God, that would get so old after a while.
Fish again.
I had blackened salmon the other day when I went to lunch with Carter, and I like that every once in a while, but that would get so old
how would
after
you...
a while.
Okay, I have so many dumb questions.
What,
you can't cook it over a fire. You're on a boat.
I thought they had some sort of a
You don't want to start a fire.
They had a galley on ships with cruises, yes.
But
or not cruises. not cruise ships. Columbus founded the Carnival Cruise Line. Fun fact, everybody.
And the Disney
on
cruise
ships with crews.
there's Ariel and Christopher Columbus. I know, but okay, I don't know.
I don't know. They ate all the mermaids. That's what
they did.
It's
Great.
so terrible.
Wow.
So then there was a story. I just jump in. From the
that's all you can do.
1600s. The tale of a mermaid who entered. This one was kind of interesting.
Oh, Lord.
She
entered
somewhere
what?
in Holland.
Oh.
She entered this little area of water through a dike and got hurt while she was going through that, which a dike isn't kind of like a dam, maybe?
Sure.
It's something to do with water getting water to civilization. I'm thinking of a culvert, but that is not the same at all, even a little bit.
Do you want me to Google it, or we just go?
No, just
we're
go
going
for
with
it.
Okay.
So anyway, she got hurt traveling through that. So the villagers took her to a lake in their little village to recuperate. They're like, here's water. And then apparently she became a productive member of their community.
What?
I
Just
don't
in
know
the
how.
lake? They're like, hey, I'm going to go down to the lake and visit Susie.
Yeah, I don't know what made her a productive member of their community, but tourism, maybe.
I can't think of anything else.
Come see her? I don't know.
That's interesting.
And then let's fast forward to more recent times. In 2009,
whoa,
there were news reports claiming just multiple mermaid sightings off the coast of Israel in a town called Kiryat Yam. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly, but whatever.
Yeah.
So all sorts of people swear they saw this mermaid, but the first guy to say that he saw her just sitting out like on the beach sunbathing.
Oh.
And so he had some friends with him. So they walk up. Well, at that point, they don't know that. They just see, there's like a naked chick over here. Let's go talk to her.
Oh my God.
But then when they got close, it said she headed for the water. I'm like, are you just scooting? I don't know.
Yes.
So that would be such an awkward moment. But they did notice that she had a tail instead of legs. And so then hundreds of other people came forward and said that they had seen her as well. And the town actually offered a $1 million reward for like concrete evidence of her existence, but no one was ever actually able to capture anything.
It's interesting to think about like the biology of a mermaid. You know, like do you breathe? Oh God, you looked over there.
Oh no, I was just
do you
checking
breathe
things out.
Air, or you have gills? You know what I mean?
I think that's part of what's being a mermaid. They say they can breathe air and underwater.
Oh, do they poop?
I mean, you've got to eliminate waste somehow.
I know how
fish poop.
I know how does a fish poop? I
don't know, but I know they do because I've had fish before, and you got to like use your little net and clean out the water.
Oh,
fish poop.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh God, did my page turn? No, never mind. My timeline, these years are so all over the place. I'm like,
you haven't done this one yet either.
No, but I go from 2012 to 1943.
Hey,
it's
so just like The Grudge, okay? The movie we just saw, timelines
hopping all over the place.
It's fine. We're good.
So, 2012, some people in Zimbabwe were working off of some dams. So they're like...
More water.
That's their job. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a mermaid story, so yes.
It's kind of like a dike. It's like a dam a dike. We don't know.
It is. They're the same thing, basically, probably. Not.
We're engineers also.
We are civil engineers for the state of Missouri.
We just build things.
Just stay home. Nothing is safe. Don't drive on bridges, overpasses, or dams. Can you drive over a dam? I don't know.
Yes, I think
okay. So this crew was working on the dams. And they just freaked out and like, we done. Goodbye.
Because they saw a mermaid?
Apparently there was an angry mermaid that kept harassing them.
You mother effers! Oh my God.
Stop damming my water!
I can't get over there to my family.
Yeah, I'm stuck here. Yeah,
that would be really annoying.
Yeah,
mermaid.
and I don't know how she was angrily harassing them. I'd love to know.
She doesn't speak English, I'm sure.
Well, probably just
shaking her fist
there would be, you're harassing me because you're a cryptid. I don't understand what's happening.
She's just like frowning a lot.
Yeah.
Shaking a fist.
So local officials were like, we need this dam done.
Get to work.
This is important for, I don't know, like survival probably.
Maybe it has something to do with energy production.
Yeah. Or the not flooding and killing everybody. So they hired another crew to come work on the dam, and they were chased off by her and refused to return. So which I guess if you think about, if I saw a mermaid, I'd be like, a little afraid.
Would you? I think I'd go down there and be like, what's up?
Yeah. Why are you so, do you want to talk about your feelings?
Let's talk about it. She's like, I don't have a hug.
Did Christopher Columbus call you ugly? Because
you're beautiful.
I'm on your side.
You're beautiful.
Yeah.
No, we just sing
Christina Aguilera.
We just sing to her. It's okay, mermaid.
It's okay.
Glimmy, I'll come in there and swim with you. I really can't swim well, so if I drown, please save me.
Please. But
it's the mermaid from Harry Potter.
Yeah. So anyone listening, if you know of any angry mermaids,
if you've seen a mermaid,
contact us. We will come. We know how to talk
mermaids.
Upset women off of a ledge. We do it to each other all the time.
Yes, we know we will go console the mermaid.
Yes. And then we're going to jump in the DeLorean now because with the wild ride we're on every week and go back to 1943 during World War II.
Okay.
K-E-I. You can tell I was doing this story sitting on my couch. So
I know
my
the
handwriting is so messy.
I know, mine too.
In Indonesia.
On a couch.
Okay. So you're in Indonesia. It's World War II.
Okay.
There's a Japanese surveillance team.
Ooh.
Who saw what they described as a humanoid creature in the water with spines on its neck.
What?
And had...
Hold on. How do you have a spine on your neck? Like a spike? Spine.
No, I am thinking almost like...
Your vertebrae.
Yes, your vertebrae are
coming
exposed.
out of your neck?
Yes.
Oh, exposed. Okay.
That's how I'm thinking of it.
That's disturbing.
And the head and the mouth of a carp.
Oh, God.
So...
That's a backwards
which is a
mermaid.
fish. Yes.
And then human legs.
And so they're like, funny. Whoa, what is this? But
what part of it was human?
Well, they spoke to some of the natives who said it was known all around that area as the human fish.
Ew.
So it's just kind of what they call it. So I think it was the size of a human. And it must have had some sort of like human characteristics.
Maybe it just had a fish face.
So I think it was more just like its mouth area, but everything else about it looked... It was just like a true cross between a human and a fish.
That's
its features.
not okay.
No. So then this Sergeant... I don't know what his name was.
What?
I can't...
Sergeant
Horaba? I don't know.
Okay,
I'm butchering that. I do not speak Japanese.
Nope,
I don't know.
We do not.
He was invited... by some of the natives on there, like, hey, we caught something, and I guess when they're fishing this time, you want to come see? You're like, all your crew are asking about this thing. We know what it is. We're used to it, so come look.
Oh gosh.
So he went and looked, and he described it as it had a small body, reddish brown hair, spines along the neck,
hair,
a human face with a lipless mouth full of sharp teeth. So there are so many things happening there.
What's wrong with that?
But he's like a sergeant with this Japanese, I don't know,
he's probably got his life
surveillance
together.
team. So he's got everything to lose and nothing to gain by going public with his story. So I'm going to say what he described.
Accurate. That's
it's
horrifying.
accurate. And I think if anyone during like World War II for the Japanese army is like
serious,
hardcore.
Intense. Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So there's that one.
That's horrifying.
Oh God, I'm nearing the end. I don't know how we end.
You're
not.
35.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're not. So sorry. It's so hard, everyone, to prepare for 2 stories in one day. I'm going to quit whining now, but it's really hard.
Nobody cares.
So in 1967 in British Columbia, they're like, we're only getting to hear one today.
Yeah,
so
nobody cares about our problems.
Quit whining about your
own
job that you choose to have and get no money for.
Right.
Idiots.
Nobody cares about our... Yeah.
Okay, so 1967 in British Columbia, there were some passengers on a ferry. So I'm thinking a ferry, you're just crossing like a river.
You would think.
So
rivers touch
So
oceans,
some of the and they empty into oceans.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Just touch. So just gently touch them.
Circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my cootie shot. That's what rivers say to oceans.
Yes, they do. Or rivers and oceans, I imagine they have like a huge rivalry.
Yeah. And I think
ocean.
like I've ridden on ferries before. Like there's such a sense of being stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
were you in a car?
Nowhere.
I don't. Those ones creep me out.
I mean, I obviously pull my car onto it, but then I get out and just stand.
It kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't ever sit in my car because
I've never.
I need to be able to at least jump if something
I don't want to
happens.
die
I
in
don't
my
want to
car.
get stuck
You're just
in my
your car with your windows
because there's so
down.
many rules to remember if your car gets submerged in water. Like
Yes.
you already need your window partially rolled down. Like there's
Or
just
all the way.
Yeah, so I just know I don't even stay in my car. I assume the worst of every scenario.
Yes.
Even riding a ferry. So some of the passengers on this ferry saw a woman sitting on the beach, and they described her as having long blonde hair, topless, with the tail of a porpoise, and she was eating raw salmon. So it's like
she's eating the face off a fish. Okay,
it seems kind of cannibalistic.
For sure.
If you have the tail of a porpoise.
Well, porpoise would eat.
Yeah, porpoise would eat
do eat fish. I mean, it's just as weird.
But the tail of a porpoise, that's so
not
different.
What we imagine. That's kind of weird,
That
actually.
is kind of like a manatee-ish.
That's manatee-ish,
yeah.
for
But
sure.
she had long... Can you imagine a manatee with long blonde hair?
And boobs? It's really weird. Is that in your spank bank? You should go to a doctor. It's not right.
No, that is
not trying to fetish shame people,
but that's
you should
be having. That's just
not
weird.
Right. It's not right.
You need therapy.
It's all like the people who really love popping balloons.
No. So then I guess there was another sighting a week later. And so it said the people in the town were prompted to offer her room and board.
What?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't
room
know.
And board is the ocean.
I know nothing more.
That's
we got this nice Airbnb. You want to rate us amongst your other cryptid friends?
And they just like put her in the bathtub and she's like, well, great, I'm here.
It's
That's
like
as far
the movie
as
Splash.
It's literally Splash.
Which I called something else one other time. I think I called it Mermaid.
There's a movie called Mermaids.
Yes, but I was referring to
Yeah,
Splash.
yes.
Look, it all comes back to Tom Hanks every time.
I love Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is our... I don't know what. I was going to say mentor. No, he's not.
He's our mentor.
He's like, I am taking no credit for this.
He's our
crap.
mentor that he doesn't know us.
We're his mentees. I was going to say muse, but no, we're not. You don't inspire him to do great work. I don't even know what. I'm just saying random M words.
You just said that weird Tom Hanks is a muse. That's so insulting to Tom Hanks.
I know, right? Tom Hanks, you deserve better.
Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are just like somewhere.
Yeah.
And
have
like,
you seen Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood?
No, but
so
I need
good.
to.
He's so good.
Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks, also.
Yes.
Wowza.
He was in
beautiful.
Not the Jumanji 2, but in the other Jumanji. Remember he was like the Jonas brother, all grown up?
He was.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yes, he's so cute.
He is.
Okay.
Back to the story.
Last mermaid sighting. So in 2008, there was a group in South Africa who were near a river when they heard loud splashing.
Oh, God. Well, like, mermaid, you should not be loud splashing.
No,
you
that
know
is
how to
not
swim.
how you go incognito.
No, and you know how to swim. Like, you're not trying to drown.
So they went to check it out, and they saw a woman in the water.
Okay.
They described her as very pale, with long black hair and piercing red eyes.
Okay, I don't like that.
And so they're like, oh, look at her. And then she made a loud crying sound.
Point at me. Look at their makeup.
This is Christopher Columbus all over again. And then she just like disappeared into the water. So I mean, so I imagine she just like
she was sad.
Yeah, went deeper.
This is not the last one.
Water.
You have this one.
Oh, whoops. It's so sloppy. I can't read.
You're so funny. Well, that's really sad, though.
So
I wonder why she cried.
Yeah, and in South Africa, this is like they have a name for this. They call them the Cayman, which I know I'm not saying right. There's two A's together. I don't know how that works. And they believe that she pulls people underwater and traps them with items that they covet. So this kind of goes back, how we've talked about how we know that there are things that kind of exist, but people also make it a folklore-ish kind of thing.
Try to keep their kids in line.
We always go to that. So I think here they're just trying to keep like adults in line. Yeah. Like don't
try to covet.
Don't cherish material items or a mermaid will drown. She would drown you surrounded by Britney Spears concert merchandise.
Yes. I'm just like my arms are tied together with a Britney t-shirt. Or office supplies.
Yes.
She makes a chain. Oh, God. What would yours be?
God, there's so many things. I'd just be submerged with weird dolls. I don't know. Which sounds like a nightmare.
They're on top of you, weighing you down.
I would be submerged with peaceful alone time. That's what I covet the most.
That is what I covet the most as well. Right. Project Runway on Hulu.
Bonus 2014. You thought that was the end.
It's not. It's never the end.
There were some fishermen in New Zealand who found a skeleton that they thought was a human murder victim, which you You know, it's
That's
like, oh
great.
God, I just found a skeleton. Obviously, if you find a human skeleton, you're going to assume they were a murder victim, because why is there just a human skeleton here and not buried in a cemetery somewhere? So they contacted authorities, but when the authorities inspected the body, even though it had human-like features, it also had aquatic features. So they were like perplexed. They're like, what is this? So they contacted the University of Auckland for their opinion. And I don't know. Cool. I don't know what they said.
Whoa! What a wild ride!
2014. It's still up in the air.
They're still investigating.
I mean, there's like a lot of forest fires and stuff right now. They're dealing with that. They don't have time to deal.
I love that so much.
I don't know.
The end.
But I wanted to include that because it's like the authorities.
Really?
Like,
yes.
I'm assuming by
legit.
authorities it means like homicide detectives or something. We're like, we don't understand this. So we gotta like contact a university that deals with
oh my God, my face
abnormal
it's
sea
us.
creatures.
It's people like us that came in and oh my God. And I don't know what they said. Yeah. The end.
So that was my super long story about mermaids.
I love it. That was great.
Let's go ahead and open the next page because I
already know.
Peeky pooed at my
Hey,
story.
sorry. I mean.
I just have all these paper clips and I don't know
God,
what's happening with my
face
life.
hurts so bad from laughing.
Okay,
great job. Going on to my story. So my story this week was recommended to me by my husband, who doesn't listen to this podcast.
Do you have any notes on this, or are you just like?
No, I just haven't turned the page.
Oh my God, I can't say. I almost said freeballing. Are you freeballing it? That is not. Why can't I retrieve appropriate words today? What is it called? When you just like if you like rap battle just spontaneously. What's that called?
Blance. No. You
free. Is it? What's it called?
It's not free ball.
No, it's not free balling. That's when men don't wear underwear.
That's so uncomfortable and weird. You're
just
just doing it spontaneously.
Yeah, but that's called something, right?
Do you all know? Could you put it on our social media? Do you know?
You just free bird. Okay, moving on. Sorry. She has notes, but I
do have notes.
She's just much better at hiding.
I'm not freeballing it.
Thank God.
I don't have testicles either. Anyway, my story today is the story of How do you say this word? Overtoun.
Overtoun.
With a weird U.
I would still say Overtoun.
Okay. Overtoun Bridge.
That's just easier than trying to go Overtown. Which now makes me think of A Christmas Story when he's trying to decode that little orphan Annie thing, and it's like Ovaltine, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
just call it Overtoun.
Overtoun Bridge, aka the dog suicide bridge. Have you ever heard this one?
I don't think I know this.
Okay.
Maybe. We always say that about each other's stories, then we start hearing details. We're like, oh, wait a minute.
It's so great and interesting. Okay. So I have a ton of sources. Again, I don't know if I used all these. I used The Herald from Scotland, theparanormalguide.com, The Mirror Online, Daily Mail, Vice.com, All That's Interesting, and Atlas Obscura. Okay, so again, this was a recommendation by Kyle. It's one of those. So Kyle goes on to Facebook, and there's that like certain thing at the bottom you can click on that's just videos. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you can just scroll, and there's like all these videos, and he just watches them.
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Clearly, I've never clicked.
He had to show me. Maybe it's not even down there anymore. But anyway, it just plays videos, and then I guess it knows what you like and wants to show you more. So this popped up on his, and he was like, "You should do an episode on this." And I'm like, "You've been listening?" And he said, "No."
Look, I'm so jealous. You have someone to help give you suggestions.
Well,
everyone in my house just points and laughs.
I would have never even heard of this probably if you hadn't told me. So anyway, it's very interesting. So Overtoun Bridge was built in the 1890s, and it's located near the village of Milton in Scotland. It's also near Overtoun House.
Okay.
Get it? They're the same name. Okay. The beginning. Actually, this isn't really the beginning. As I went on with my research, I realized that things
Isn't that the worst when you're looking at multiple sources and then you're like, but I never know. Do I leave a blank space here? Am I going to find more?
I know.
Which is why my timelines are all over the place. It's hard.
So actually,
you guys, this is not easy.
Yeah. Feel sorry for us.
Yes, please.
So really, this is not the beginning at all because a lot of the dog suicides have taken place prior to this. But anyway, this is interesting. So, Overtoun Bridge was first brought into the news. That's not even true. It was brought into the news before this, but it was highlighted in the news in September 1994. So Kevin Moy, he's 32, and his wife had just had a new baby on September 26, 1994. So Kevin, prior to this, had suffered from depression on and off. Like, he was a really troubled guy. After his wife, Eileen, left the hospital, he stayed back with his family. I guess, like, maybe where the hospital was, like, his family lived nearby, so he just stayed back with his family due to his depression, and Eileen went home with the kid. So 2 weeks later, I guess, by that point, he had went home. So the three of them decided they were going to go on an outing. They're going to go for a walk, get out of the house.
Okay.
Like, I get that, right?
Good advice.
So they go to this bridge, which, anyway, has like a 50-foot drop, when Kevin suddenly throws his baby over the edge. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah. So he threw his baby over the edge of the bridge. His wife, then he tries to throw himself over the bridge. Like, he tries to throw himself over. His wife stops him, though, which I'm not sure I would stop my husband if he just threw my baby over.
I would dive in then, like, thinking I could save my baby.
I know. But you'd be in such shock. You'd be like, did that just happen? Did he just throw our baby over?
I have no business saying how I would react in any situation.
I don't know.
It's not fair.
I don't know how I would react at all. So bystanders, like, people I guess were milling about, they rushed to the baby because literally it had just fallen like almost 50 feet.
Oh my God.
And the baby died the next day, unfortunately. Obviously, like, 50-foot drop. That's insane.
Right.
To a 2-week-old baby. So Kevin was taken. All that happened. The baby hadn't died yet, I guess, at this point. We're kind of stepping back. So they took Kevin to Overtoun House because he had just tried to throw himself off the bridge too. And they were like, come over here. We don't know what's going on with you. So he goes into the house. He immediately goes to the kitchen, grabs a kitchen knife, and tries to slash his own wrists. And everyone's like, what's up with you, dude? He's arrested, obviously. Okay. So Kevin goes to, jail. And he claims that...
As he should.
He claims that he believed that he was the Antichrist and that his baby was Satan. And I wrote, isn't that backwards?
Yeah, wouldn't they be on the same team?
But he wanted...
If you're the Antichrist.
Right, but he I'll get into it, but he wanted to kill his baby and himself, thinking that he could stop.
He'd be saving
the
he'd be doing
humanity.
Good things.
But, like,
got you.
That doesn't, but that's backwards. Like, my knowledge of biblical things is that your baby is not Satan. Your baby would be the Antichrist.
Right. But, I mean, there's no rationalization
I know.
this. Obviously, he's not... Yeah. He's not like, well, I learned at Bible study.
Right.
He's just...
So he believed that the devil had put a birthmark on his baby's head, and that he also thought that he and his baby had caused the Gulf War.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, and he thought that they would kill mankind with a virus. Typhoid, probably.
Yeah.
And he
Bacterial infection, by the way.
He wanted to save the world by killing himself and his baby. So super sad. So he went on trial. Psychiatrists claimed that he was insane at the time of the murder. Obviously, the jury agreed. They put him in a mental institution, but I'm not really sure if he's still there or not. I tried to figure it out, but I can't find it.
Probably.
So, what's up with the dogs? So dogs, people's pets, not just random stray dogs, but people's pets have been jumping off this bridge since the 1960s.
Okay, this I have heard.
Yes.
This I've heard.
So many of the dogs die, obviously, but some don't. And some that don't die run back up on top of the bridge and jump again. Like, what? Isn't that bizarre?
That is.
Okay, so around 600 dogs total have jumped off this bridge, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah, that's not just a freak coincidence.
No, 600 dogs. So around 50 of them have died. So really, I mean, not that many have died, but still 50. Like, if that's your pet, that would be terrible.
Yeah. And dogs know better than to jump from high.
And we'll get into that a little bit. Yeah. So the term dog suicide, as I was reading through this, a lot of people say that technically it's not a thing because dogs are not able to make that type of decision. Like, I'm choosing to kill myself today.
Right.
Which goes against their biological instincts. Although, and I don't know where this is in my notes, so some people have claimed, though, that they've had pets that literally did kill themselves. And so So that doctor said, here's my note. That doctor said animals can't commit suicide, not necessarily true. So here's a couple times when animals have committed suicide, which I think is interesting. In 2009, over the course of 3 days, In the Swiss Alps, 28 cows deliberately walked off a cliff. Weird, right?
Yeah, that's really weird.
And in the documentary The Cove, dolphin trainer Richard O'Berry talked about how Kathy, the dolphin used in Flipper, had drowned herself in front of him and she died. Like, how does a dolphin drown?
Yeah. But it's like, did they then do any kind of autopsy to see if there was any kind of a disease that impacted their brain?
So who knows?
Because aren't there like sheep that walk off of cliffs?
Well, there's like goats that climb on cliffs.
But I feel like there have been like cases of sheep's just like, I don't know.
Walking off a cliff and I have no idea. So I don't know if animals can commit suicide. I don't know. Like I
can't get inside. Trust me, if I could get inside my dog's head and know what she's thinking, I would, because she's a freaking psychopath.
I don't feel like they have the like cognitive ability to plan something out like that.
No.
Although not all suicide is very well thought out.
Although I've known people who've had their pets on antidepressants before. Like
I don't know. So I don't know whether I agree with that or not. I'm kind of all over
What's
the
that
place.
guy's name? Caesar
Milan.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The dog whisperer.
We know you're listening.
We know you're listening.
Hit us up.
Oh my God. So, people who have seen this happen have claimed that it seems like something is luring the animals off the cliff or off of the bridge. And so the bridge, it's like super old, what you would imagine to see in Scotland, right? Like old bricks looking things. The edges are very low. So like the walls, you know what I'm trying to say?
Put some railings on there after all of this.
And there's still nothing. Like even to this day, there is no railing. So they call it a parapet, something like that is what they call the railing on these bridges, because it's very low. Like, so again, I have friends, Trevor and Rachel, hi. And they like their stairwell their home is very old, and their stairwell has, like, if you're standing at their second story, the stairwell is low, right? Like, no, not the stairwell.
The railing.
Railing, thank you, is low. That has nothing to do with it. But it's just something interesting. Where,
but their dog has never jumped off at it.
But like, it's just interesting. It's not that low. It's just lower than normal. But it makes you want, like, it's just interesting how old architecture, it wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, well, because it didn't because child safety precautions did not start happening until like 20 years ago.
Right. And this
as the norm.
And it was built in the 1890s. Their house was not built in the 18. Anyway, why am I talking about this? Moving on. So the Scottish Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals have investigated the bridge and all this stuff going on, but they were unable to determine a cause, obviously. Because, like, what do you... So we're going to get into some stories of people who this has happened to. So Alice, she's a 50-year-old woman. I don't know why that's important. She was taking her dog Cassie for a walk when her dog suddenly decided to leap over the edge onto the ground below, and she lived.
Oh.
Yeah. So Alice said she will never forget the whining noise that her dog made as she jumped, which is so sad.
That is
because imagine, like, you take that leap and you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
It's not great. So she said that when she got out of the car, like, they pulled up. Again, I have no idea how this looks, but I'm imagining there's like a parking lot and you pull up and then you like walk to the bridge. The dog like beelined for that bridge. It was like, bam, running to the bridge, jumped off it, which is horrifying.
That is horrifying, because I think of even like my own dog, which my dog is such a weirdo. She does not like car rides. I'm like, what dogs doesn't like car rides?
Right.
But she won't even, like, when we pull into the garage, like if I open the door to get her out, she will not jump out of the car. She's terrified. And granted, I have a pug, so she has short legs. She's not tall, but like my car does not sit high up off the ground. So I just feel like that's just like an instinct that dogs have, is to know to try and be safe. You know, she realizes she's short. She has tiny little legs. Like if I jump, this could hurt me.
Yes, for sure.
And she won't do it. But she jumps off the couch like nobody's business, which is probably the same distance from the floor as my car seat. But
very true.
She's just crazy.
I did have this, I forgot to mention this earlier, but a professor from the Department of Animal Sciences at Ohio University named Professor Neville
Longbottom.
He said that dogs can get depressed, as you mentioned. Like, a lot of animals take antidepressants, but they live in the present. They live in the now, so they can't plan ahead to do something like suicide, which makes sense.
Yeah, there's no premeditation on their end.
No. So in 2011, David and Louise McPhail, they were walking their lab, Sophie, who jumped off the bridge before they could even react. So, like, they couldn't stop her. She just jumped off the bridge.
Is no one leashing their dogs?
They're not. But now there is a sign that says dangerous bridge. Keep your dog on a leash.
But I just thought anywhere like in public it was illegal.
Maybe not in Scotland. I don't know.
Dog.
2017, Lottie McKinnon was walking her border collie Bonnie, and Lottie sensed something change in her dog. So she just knew something was up. The dog froze, and then she ran right towards the bridge, like the edge of the bridge, and jumped off it. Like, can you imagine? You'd just be like, what the?
You almost think of like, there's like dog whistles or whatever. The only dogs get like there's
a sound or something.
Because none of the people, yes, the guy that you opened the story with obviously reacted, but it sounded like he already had some stuff going on prior to that. So there is something that all of these dogs are hearing or recognizing. Yeah, something that apparently none of the humans are.
It's weird.
So that's very weird.
So some of the things that are really interesting is that all these dogs that jump, they jump from the same spot on the same side of the bridge.
That's
weird, right? It's always on a clear day. And all the dogs that jump are long-nosed breed dogs.
So maybe they're smelling. Side note, there's a Beggin' Strips factory directly below the bridge.
Well, so one of the theories is that squirrels, mice, and minks nest below the bridge. And so maybe the dogs smell them and they jump off, but they don't realize how far down it is.
I know.
And
my dad always had hunting dogs my whole life when he was alive.
Right.
And they were typically hunting dogs I feel like are some of the more intelligent breeds. Like I never knew of one of his dogs to ever get hurt.
Right.
Or put themselves, like they have enough common sense. Like you would think, okay, I have dogs that are tracking raccoons. Like how are they managing to not get their faces chewed off? But because they're just like little beagle dogs.
But they're jumping off a bridge.
Yeah.
The one thing, so you can Google pictures of this, and like there's a picture where they're down on, someone is down on the ground, like 50 feet below the bridge looking up. And you're like, whoa, that is super far. But then there's pictures of people up on the bridge looking down. And there's like some trees and foliage and things. And like if you're just looking over the edge, you might not be able to tell how far down it is. So like your
depth perception isn't be registering.
But it's a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like dogs are smarter than that.
So there's a little bit of a haunting theory there. So the Overtoun house that's nearby... there's obviously it's a house built in Scotland in the 1800s. Lots of stuff has gone down there.
Oh, I'm sure.
But many people
I would love to go to Scotland.
How cool, right?
Tour all the old like haunted castle. Like stay the night in a haunted castle.
Maybe we'll have a live show there someday.
Yeah,
in Glasgow.
Dream big.
Is that in Scotland? Yeah, Glasgow. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Yes, it is. Glasgow, Scotland. Dublin,
good.
Ireland.
Okay.
So many people believe that the reason that the dogs are jumping off is because the ghost of Lady Overtoun is seen around a lot. So she wears white, and she's like a lady in white, of course. Like, right?
Yeah.
Why are all of these?
I don't know. That's a great movie. Have you ever seen that movie, The Lady in White? It's from like the 80s.
Oh, I thought I was going to say, does it have Daniel Radcliffe?
No, Daniel Radcliffe probably wasn't born yet.
He's probably the same age as me.
What is that movie with him? Is it called Lady in White?
I think so. That's why
Well, maybe the one I'm thinking of isn't called Lady in White. Never mind. I'll have to... Mom, you've told me you've listened to a couple episodes of this. What's that movie with the lady? It had the woman off of Who's the Boss, the redheaded lady, but she was real scary and creepy.
Who the redheaded lady off Who's the Boss is?
Katherine Hellman. She just died like in the last couple weeks, I feel like, or in the last year.
Okay. So there's a picture of the lady in white, although she doesn't look like she's wearing white in this picture. Maybe she's not the lady in white. Am I making that up? Yes, I am making that up. That's literally not in my notes anywhere. That says the widow of John White.
But so she's probably wearing black if she's a widow.
She is. So here's a picture of her in the window of Overtoun House.
Oh.
So I
kind
of
looks
that.
like a short little Michael Myers. Right? Look at that face.
Or like, remember in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when the first Slayer comes... Why am I talking about this? The first Slayer comes back and it's like a African American woman with white paint on her face.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it also looks like, but it's just very straight. I don't know. Who knows, right?
I mean...
It's weird. Okay. I'll also show you... Sorry, everyone, you can Google this, but here's the bridge.
Oh. That's very old. very ornate.
It's a beautiful bridge. It really is. And see how there is foliage down here, but it's still not enough to where I feel like there's a picture though of like what it would look like if you jumped off. But anyway, I can show you off air. But okay. And a lot of people believe, so, okay, let me get back to the haunting thing. The reason is that lady who's seen, okay, so the ghost of Lady Overtoun, she's been seen around the property for over 100 years, and she's the widow of John White, who built the house. And a lot of people believe that it's a thin spot between two realms, the bridge itself.
Oh,
and so the dogs maybe are hearing something or seeing something, and then just being like,
because
jumping.
I mean, the dogs have all been with their owners.
Yes,
and I do think dogs will risk their lives to protect their humans. So then
maybe so.
If there's something they're sensing some sort of acute danger,
maybe
that would. Dogs are so great.
They are. So Dr. David Sands, he is a canine psychologist. He stands by the statement that dogs cannot commit suicide, and he went to the bridge in 2005 with a documentary crew. I didn't find the documentary, but I need to look it up more because it seems like it'd be interesting to investigate. Maybe he never made it. I don't know. So this is a quote from him. "Just me as a person, forget a dog. All your senses are on fire," meaning like as a dog, all your senses are on fire. "It's got a strange feeling." So who knows? It's just very mysterious. And again, like I mentioned earlier, there is now a sign erected at the bridge that says, "Dangerous bridge. Please keep your dog on a lead or they might die."
Yeah.
And that is the story of Overtoun Bridge.
Very good. And if you think about it, dogs are known to have way heightened senses.
Yes.
Like that is why you train dogs, like cadaver dogs.
Yes.
And dogs to track down bad guys.
And dogs to help people with anxiety. What's that called?
Yeah. Therapy dog.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another word.
Oh.
I don't have words.
Yeah, and they can sense like before someone's going to have a seizure.
Yes.
I mean, that's crazy. Some dogs can smell cancer before people even know they have cancer.
I just don't think a dog's dumb enough.
So dogs are just
how many dogs?
They're just incredibly intuitive.
600
dogs.
dogs.
There's something
is going on.
Making that. There aren't 600 dogs who are like, oh, I'm just going to jump down here because these trees make it look like it's not very far.
And I smell a mink. I talked to Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, what's a mink? Do we have minks in the United States? I don't think we do.
No.
I feel like it's weaselly.
Yeah, like mink coats. People,
but that doesn't help me understand what it is.
I almost feel like chinchilla-ish, maybe.
Weaselly, ferrety kind of thing. Okay.
I don't know.
It sounds cute. It sounds cute.
Yeah,
You're obviously a mink
kill
expert.
It for their fur. Don't kill anything for its fur.
No, it's rude.
No, shave a sheep and get your Sherpa.
Get some wool.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Wow. Cool. Thanks for listening to that.
Yeah, guys. That was
episode 20 Spank Bank.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to everybody on our social media pages. We love you guys.
They're do.
Contrary to what some who shall remain unnamed think, not everyone that likes our page and comments to us and writes recommendations are personal acquaintances.
That's true.
We get so excited. We love when you tell us where you're from.
We love that.
And when you don't, we Facebook stalk you to see where you're from. Just saying.
Yeah, this is real personal fandom right here.
Yeah,
we're
so
up
shout
in your
out
business.
to the people. And I've even noticed some people have liked our page. And even though it may not necessarily be their thing, they're tagging their friends in it because everybody knows someone who's weirdo
like us.
Who loves the paranormal and who's a little quirky and a little awkward. So thank you. I just really feel like our social media has been blowing up lately, and we do read everything. We
try to like
greatly
it,
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool to know there's other people like us out there too.
Yeah.
So
thanks, guys.
We appreciate it. If you haven't liked us, please do on Facebook. Rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Write us a recommendation on Facebook. And if you have a cool story, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Send us an
seriously.
email.
This is episode 20, you guys. We're
in this.
We will take all the ideas we can get because clearly we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
No, we're not.
Just kidding. We just had to do 2 in 1 week. It's so hard.
But we want... But we want to hear your personal stories too. Like if you have personal experiences with the paranormal, we're obviously going to believe you. I mean, we believe everything. So
absolutely, we've had experiences ourselves.
We have,
and we don't think we're crazy.
No, I mean, I think you're crazy. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks, appreciate it.
But we want to hear it, and if we would love to share it on the podcast too. So send us an email on thehaunt@gmail.com.
Our website's on thehauntpodcast.com.
Our Facebook and Instagram are just on the haunt.
Yeah, we don't do Twitter.
No, I only do Twitter, even on my personal account, for work-related
or
stuff.
stalking
celebrities. Yeah, celebrity stalking.
I don't have time for Twitter. Sure. I'm too old also.
Whitney's been making me do some Snapchatting, so
yeah, I've been like, Amy,
there.
Snapchat me.
So.
Maybe we should make a face. Anyway,
yeah.
What am I trying to say?
Okay, to be continued.
We love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.